Tai Chi is, Tai Chi has a history only going back about 800 years, where Qigong has a history going back, I've seen some records indicate as much as 4,000 years back that they can trace it, and certainly almost any source will agree at least 2,000 years back. So I mean, it significantly is older than Tai Chi, and Tai Chi is really a martial art that is, goes back to a Taoist hermit, basically, named Chen Fang, who created Tai Chi, which is, it means supreme, like Tai Chi Chuan means supreme ultimate fist. And it's a blending of using Qigong, energy techniques, along with proper body mechanics and, like basically a softness to create a yielding, like a yin type approach, where you don't really have to use a lot of hard external techniques like you would in something like Japanese Shotokan or something like that. But really, Tai Chi, to do real Tai Chi, you need to be able to do Qigong. You need to have an awareness of Qi and be able to move it both internally and externally. So Tai Chi is really just another, if you're really doing real Tai Chi, it's just another, it's a moving form of Qigong. They're all very similar. Like I've had lots of students that have done quite a bit of yoga, and yoga refers to the term prana, and prana is the same as chi, and they have techniques that they call pranayama breathing that are supposed to run energy through specific channels that they call nadis, where the Chinese refer to it more as meridians, but principally they're the same thing. And even Qigong sometimes is referred to as a Taoist or a Buddhist form of yoga, but there are significant differences, because what happens is if the teacher, prior to say your instructor is teaching you yoga, most of the time, and this happens in Tai Chi too, if they don't have an awareness of energy and they really just didn't get it, then they're just teaching you the empty form, the shell. They're teaching you the exercises, which the exercises are still beneficial. They still, exercise is always good for you, but they're missing the main ingredient that kept that kept this system alive for thousands and thousands of years. And I had a guy that came here from India, and actually he keeps going back and forth. His name is Jagan, and he had done Raja Yoga for 25 years. That's a long time, and he did the pranayama breathing, he did all this stuff, and he had a guru that he corresponded with and met with, and he came to my class, and he's like, "Whoa, what's all this?" I'm like, "Well, that's the chi or the prana," and he's like, "I've never felt anything like this," and he said he had this mystical experience where this bright light went off in his forehead, and he could actually see. It was almost like it was traveling to him from the horizon and coming into him. And he said that's the whole reason I got into yoga, was this happened to me when I was a little boy, and a guru told me that I was destined to be a great yogi or whatever, and he was very grateful and thankful to me or whatever. And I said, well, 25 years is a long time to practice. I said, you could have got this a lot earlier. Well, I mean, in terms of just how I got into it in general, I'd been in martial arts for a long time. I had done mostly Korean styles, Hamukwan, Kuksowan, Hapkido, Taekwondo, Tong Soo-do. I did a bunch of these things, and I had lots of different teachers, and throughout they talked about Qi and Qi, and some of the teachers talked about it in terms of something more mystical, and other teachers talked about it in terms of like physics, momentum, inertia, using the opponent's body weight or the force of gravity, using the assistance of just the Earth's gravitational pull. You drop something, it falls, and centrifugal force, things like that. And you know, it was like a huge disconnect. They didn't fit. You know, how can one thing be a mystical force and another thing be just classical physics? And that bothered me for a long time. It's like they just, you know, they didn't match. You know, it'd be like somebody telling you blue is red your whole life, and then you're like, but it's blue. So they just didn't, the pictures didn't match. And years later, I don't know, probably around, it was around the year I got married, so it was around 1993. I saw some stuff on like TV, Discovery Channel, or a show similar to that, and they had a lot of things with Qigong and you know, people doing demonstrations, you know, moving a candle flame, just you know, simple stuff. But you know, it was all on the energy side, and it was more like you know, like the definition of the Force in Star Wars or something. It was more along that line, which incidentally has a lot of basis in Qigong. So I saw that, and then I started to train a little bit, and I probably did close to a year, 6-7 months maybe. Got married, you know, moved, you know, my life took over, and I just put it away, and for a long time I just left it alone, and then never really got my answer. And then, you know, then I had my own kids, they got into some martial arts. I saw a similar program on, and this time I'm pretty sure it was on Discovery, and it just reminded me, but I never resolved that question, and I just made a dedicated effort to practice it, and you know, I didn't really care what the answer was, I just needed an answer, and so I pretty much just dedicated, you know, I just said I'm going to do it every day for a year, and you know, regardless if I like it or enjoy it or not, I'm just going to do it and get an answer, and that's how I got into it.